I'm Robert Sabelli, Chief Business Development Officer at Altasciences. Coordinating CRO and CDMO efforts to align with drug development milestones can be complex. At Altasciences, we've created a unique model that eliminates silos, removes multiple handoffs, and improves communication between all contributors. Here to dive deeper into these dynamics are Ben Reed and Ingrid Holmes, Vice President of Global Clinical Operations. We've been together as a family now almost close to or just a little over 4 years. I'm sure we have tons of examples here to share, but do you have any stories whereby the CDMO and the clinic were able to just get on that phone, we had that urgent request coming from a sponsor, and without having one or another, we probably wouldn't be in a position to give that support to our sponsors?
Yeah, I think we have quite a few examples, and not just with the clinic, with the non-clinical team as well. But I can think of just one off the top of my head recently. So the clinics all do have research pharmacies, as you know, and we have we're very well equipped. We handle standard dispensing, solid oral dosage forms is no problem. Sterile products as well. We handle everything through 795 and 797. And we can handle a pretty high level of complex compounding as well. But when things get a little too far onto the GMP side of things, we do have to draw the line, and that's where we can pick up the phone and call Ben and say, hey, how can you get involved here to support this, this trial or this program? Recently, we had a really simple example, actually, but it was just a volume. It was a volume issue. We had to over-encapsulate, which is something that our clinics can handle, no problem. But it was a fairly large number, and it was too much for our pharmacy to handle and keep up with. And this is something that we can then, bring in our CDMO. They can take it on. We would have a challenge potentially with that batch size or that size of the contract if we had to go externally to another CDMO. That would be much too small for them. But for us, it was too big, and for our client, it was a perfect solution because we could keep everything on time and have it put together in a GMP facility.
Yeah, and that's a great example, because trying to outsource that size of a project, it's very difficult, and that really holds up timelines in clinics. So what we're able to do is keep it in-house. And it's not just for over-encapsulation. There's a lot of things that you really don't think about till you get to the point where you need it, and at that point it's too late. So matching placebos, we can easily do that for our clients. Something as simple as labeling or over-labeling, and it's something you don't really think about until you need GMP labeling, and then what happens, Ingrid gets on the phone and calls me, and we make it happen for the clients.
Yeah, distribution goes along with labeling as well. So, when we do have multiple sites involved, it may not even be one of our own clinics. We may be going external.
Right.
And there's a level that the clinic can handle on its own, but when we get past that, this is where the CDMO takes over, and they've got all of the processes in place. They're built for this, so it's a great solution.
Yeah, and distribution's a good one. That brought up an example in my head, and one of my favorite ones is Scranton's very close. I think they're just a few hours. They're just a few hours from Philadelphia. So we were working through multiple clients through starting off in R&D formulations and making up that first formulation. And we needed to get it to Scranton that same day. So sure enough, that morning we made it up in our formulations lab, and we physically drove it up to Scranton to make sure the timeline stayed online for the client. And that's huge. To us, that's just normal practices. That's what we do every day for our clients. But for clients, that's really big, because if you miss that, it costs you time and money.
Correct.
The fun one with that one is it came back multiple times. We had to do a little bit of manipulation on the formulation to change it up because we didn't like the results that we saw. But we did that, I think, 5 or 6 times, and that 5 or 6 times was over 2 weeks. Yeah. Not 2 months, or even longer. So that stuff it's really exciting for us to be able to do that for our clients.
Thank you both. I appreciate you taking the time and walking us through this unique model. We hope today's discussion showed that the sponsors can quickly respond and make the necessary adjustments to their study needs when collaborating closely with Altasciences. Thank you very much for joining us today.